They shared a bed, but not a life. The room was dark. Only the faint glow of the streetlight slipped through the curtains. Evan lay on his side, facing the wall. Maya lay on hers, facing the opposite direction. A quiet ocean of space between them. Her phone vibrated softly against the nightstand. She reached for it quickly. A message. "You did great today. Don't let anyone make you doubt that." "Daniel." She stared at the screen longer than she should have. A small smile touched her lips. She locked the phone, turned back toward the darkness, and felt the emptiness beside her. 3 months earlier, they hadn't fought. That was the problem. No yelling, no slammed doors, just silence, routine, predictable politeness. Evan worked late. Maya reheated dinner. He provided. She maintained. They functioned, but they did not connect. "Long day?" she asked one evening as he loosened his tie. "Yeah," he replied, already scrolling through emails. She waited for more. It didn't come. She nodded and returned to the kitchen. Later that night, she sat beside him on the couch. He was watching a game. She was staring at him. "Do you ever miss us?" she asked quietly. He muted the TV. "What do you mean?" Before everything became logistics. He frowned slightly. "We're fine, Maya." She nodded, and something inside her dimmed. At work, things are different. Daniel had joined the firm 2 months ago. Not flashy, not overly charming, but attentive. He noticed when she changed her presentation layout. He noticed when she seemed tired. "You okay?" he asked once after meeting. "Yeah," she said automatically. He tilted his head slightly. "You don't look like, yeah." It startled her. No one had looked that closely in a long time, including her husband. They started working on a project together. Late brainstorm sessions, shared coffee breaks. He listened when she spoke, not interrupting, not solving, just listening. And that felt dangerous, because it felt good. One evening, she laughed at something he said, really laughed, the kind that came from a chest. And for a second, she forgot the heaviness. Then guilt crept in. She checked her wedding ring. Still there, still sacred. That night, she went home to a quiet house. Evan was on the couch, laptop open. "Hey," he said without looking up. "Hey." She stood there for a moment, waiting for him to ask about her day. He didn't. She went to shower, under the warm water. She pressed her forehead against the tile. "God, what is wrong with me?" She wasn't having an affair. She hadn't crossed the line, but her heart had shifted slightly, and that terrified her. Weeks passed. The distance at home grew. The connection at work deepened. Not physically, emotionally. One afternoon, after she presented a difficult pitch, Daniel texted, "You don't give yourself enough credit." Her husband had never seen her present, never asked to. That night, she sat across from Evan at dinner. He was talking about quarterly numbers. She was barely listening. "I think we should refinance," he said. She stared at him. "Do you even see me anymore?" He blinked. "What kind of question is that?" "The honest kind." He sighed, frustrated. "Maya, I work hard for us." "I didn't ask you to work harder," she whispered. "I asked you to love me." Silence filled the room. He pushed his chair back. "You're being dramatic." And that was the night she moved to the edge of the bed. Daniel noticed the shift. "You seem tired," he said one evening. She hesitated, then admitted softly, "Marriage is harder than I thought." He didn't lean in, didn't flirt. He simply said, "It shouldn't feel lonely." The words hit her harder than any touch could. That was it. She was lonely in her own marriage. And the worst part? Evan didn't even know. One evening, the line didn't just blur, it shifted. They were the last two in the office again. City lights shimmered beyond the glass walls. The building felt too quiet, too private. Maya rubbed her temples, exhausted. Daniel stood behind her chair for a moment longer than necessary. "You shouldn't go home feeling invisible," he said softly. She turned slowly. "What does that mean?" He stepped closer, not touching, but close enough that she could feel the warmth of him. "It means," he continued, voice lower now, "a woman like you shouldn't have to beg to be noticed." Her heart began to race. "That's not your place to say," she replied. He didn't smile this time. "I see the way you look when you talk about your marriage," he said quietly. You deserve more than fine. The air tightened, heavy, intentional. He reached out, not grabbing, just brushing his fingers lightly against the edge of her wrist on the desk. A deliberate gesture. I think, he said carefully, holding her gaze, you married the wrong man. Silence. Her pulse thundered in her ears. This wasn't comfort. This was invitation. Clear, calculated. She stood up immediately, creating space between them. I am married, she said firmly, and I meant my vows. His jaw tightened slightly. I'm not asking you to do anything wrong, he replied. I'm just saying if things are different. They're not, she interrupted. Her voice didn't shake, but her chest did. For a moment, something flashed across his face. Not respect, frustration. He stepped back. All right, he muttered. I just thought you should know you don't have to settle. She picked up her bag. I'm not settling, she said quietly. I'm struggling. There's a difference. She walked out before he could answer. And for the first time, she didn't feel flattered. She felt warned. That night, she knelt beside her bed. God, protect my heart, even from a tension that feels good. Because now she knew it wasn't accidental. He wasn't just listening. He was positioning. And loneliness makes temptation sound like rescue. In home, Evan began noticing a silence. Not the loud kind, the resigned kind. She stopped asking about his day, stopped trying to talk, stopped reaching for his hand in bed. One evening, he walked into the bedroom and found her suitcase half open on the floor. His stomach dropped. What is this? She didn't cry. I don't want to leave because I hate you, she said softly. I want to leave because I feel nothing. That hurt more than anger would have. Is there someone else? He asked quietly. She hesitated. There was almost something. His chest tightened, but I didn't let it happen. He exhaled shakily. Why? Because I still believe in covenant. That word shattered him. Covenant. He realized something in that moment. She hadn't betrayed him. She had protected what he neglected. That night, after she fell asleep on the couch, he sat alone in the kitchen. The house felt hollow. He opened a drawer and found the Bible they received at their wedding. Still stiff, barely used. He ran his fingers over the cover. I don't know how to fix this, he whispered into the quiet. And for the first time in years, he prayed. Not polished, not impressive, raw. God, I don't know how to make her feel loved anymore. I don't know how to bring back the connection we once had. I thought providing was enough. I thought staying was enough. But she's slipping away, and I don't know how to reach her. He wiped his face roughly. But she's leaving, and it's my fault. Silence, then surrender. Teach me. Change didn't happen overnight. He didn't show up with flowers. He showed up with honesty. I've been absent, he admitted the next morning. She didn't respond. I've been selfish. I made work my identity. I stopped pursuing you. Her eyes softened slightly. I don't trust words anymore, she said. Then don't, he replied. Watch actions. He scheduled counseling, canceled unnecessary overtime, started asking about her day and listening. The first few times felt awkward, forced, but consistent. One evening he said quietly, tell me what I missed about you. She hesitated. Everything. And so she told him her fears, her loneliness, her near mistake. He didn't yell, didn't accuse. He listened and apologized specifically. I failed you emotionally. Tears fell silently down her cheeks. Weeks passed. Slow healing. Small shifts. One night, she returned to the bedroom. Not because everything was fixed, but because she saw effort. He lay down beside her carefully, not touching, just present. In the darkness, he whispered, I'm not quitting on us. She stared at the ceiling. Then slowly, she turned toward him. Not fully, just slightly. It was enough. The next morning, Maya arrived at work earlier than usual. As she stepped out of the elevator, she saw Daniel near the entrance, laughing softly. But he wasn't alone. A woman stood beside him, her hand resting naturally on his arm. A little boy clung to his leg, looking up at him with complete trust. Daniel leaned down and kissed the child's forehead. Then the woman. Maya froze. He looked up and their eyes met. For a split second, something flickered across his face. Not surprise, not joy, guilt. He had never said that he was married and didn't wear a wedding ring. The warmth she once felt dissolved instantly, because she realized he wasn't who she thought he was. That night, when Maya came home, the house felt different. The lights were dimmed. Soft music played quietly in the background. She stepped into the dining room and stopped. Evan stood there, nervous, sleeves rolled up, beside a table set for two. Candles, flowers, dinner he had clearly cooked himself. Not perfect, but intentional. He looked at her the way he used to, not distracted, not distant, present. I wasn't sure what you'd feel when you walked in, he admitted softly, but I needed to try. Her throat tightened. I'm sorry, he continued, for the distance, for the silence, for making you feel alone while standing right beside me. His voice wasn't defensive. It was steady, humble. I can't undo the months I neglected you, but I can choose you again, every day, not just as my wife, but as the woman I fell in love with. Tears welled in her eyes. I love you, Maya. I have plans for us, real ones. I want to build something with you, travel with you, grow old with you, have children with you. I don't want a convenient marriage. I want a connected one. He reached into his jacket pocket and handed her a small envelope. Inside were 2 plane tickets. Paris. 1 week, he said. Just us. No work. No distractions. I want to learn you again. Her heart, once guarded, softened. Not because of the trip, but because of the effort. Because of the consistency she had begun to see. He stepped closer and gently took her hand. She let him. No fireworks. No dramatic speeches. Just warmth returning. His fingers brushed against hers. She paused, then intertwined them. The distance had disappeared. Not because the pain never happened, but because someone chose to fight for what was sacred.